everyone. Nick and Catherine North here. Hi.
It's us. We're here.
We're here. And we're here to tell you really quickly. This is like the super quick, concise, abbreviated Cliff Notes version about a system that has probably saved our marriage. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it seems like dramatic to say that, but it also seems
it's true.
Yeah.
So.
It's called the number system.
We gotta come up with a better
Yeah,
name.
we have. After we talk about it, you should probably tell us what we should name it.
Yeah.
You're better namers than us. Anyway, it is the way that we decide, basically, if we're going to fight about something or not.
If it's even worth having a fight about.
If it's worth having it. Because when we first got married and moved in together and did all those things, we found ourselves fighting all the time. Like, not like I'm going to divorce you fighting, but like just bickering.
Bickering.
Yeah.
Lots of bickering.
And micromanaging each other and things like that. And we realized that we would end up fighting about shit that we just actually didn't care about. And we would be like, wait, why are we even fighting about this? And it was because we would realize that, like, oh, if asked, we had opinions about a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And we were used to being the ones that made all the decisions in our families. And we had both come from being single parents for a while. And
so we were trying to be all considerate, being like, well, what do you think about this? What's your input? What music should we play? What should we make for dinner? Which spoons should we use? Like, a lot of it was really stupid stuff. But we were trying to be considerate by including the other person and asking for their opinion. But it turned out we always had an opinion. Mm-hmm. And so we ended up doing this weird dance where we would try to like contort around each other's. And what happened was we realized eventually, with the help of our therapist, that we were giving in on things that mattered a lot to us and getting back things that didn't actually matter.
Mm-hmm. So we might be unpacking our kitchens, say, possibly. Hypothetically. And having a fight over where the cooking utensils go. And realize that, like, actually, you don't really care. You don't do most of the cooking. I do most of the cooking. I care. I really care. So I'm going to just win this battle right now.
But we needed a system. We needed like a way to wrap our minds around it. So it wasn't just like, well, I care more than you care.
Yeah.
So we use a number system. 10 is like life or death. This is like
it means
non-negotiable.
I'm willing to divorce you over
yes.
this.
Right? And a 1 is like, I really don't care, but if I have to give an opinion, I guess I can pull one out of my ass. Mm-hmm. And having this system to rate how much a conversation matters to us has been like life-changing. It sounds kind of silly, but it makes everything different. And it goes like this. Be like, hey babe, let's talk about where we're going to go for our date on Friday night. This is only like a 3 for me.
It's a 3. Okay. So, if it's a 3 for you, it's probably actually only a 1 for me. It matters more that it's not like that the time frame for me is like would be like a 10. I don't want to go out like super duper, well, not a 10, but it's like probably a 6 that like I don't want to go out super late. I like to be home by 10 o'clock.
Okay, so the time is like an 8.
The time is the 8 for me.
The place is like a 1.
I don't really care.
And it's like a 3. Okay, great. So what we're doing is we haven't even started to talk about where we're actually going to go for dinner yet. What we have done, though, is we've established how much it matters to either of us, right? So let's say I had said where we're going out for dinner for our date on Friday night is only a 3, and you had said,
ooh, it's really important to me. It's like a 7 or an 8. I want to eat either at this place or this place. I want this type of food. I want this type of atmosphere. So like I have to get clear on what about that.
And then I have all this useful information, which is, oh, this really matters to him. Later I might dig in to find out why it matters. What is it that he's wanting to get out of it? But I'm like, great, let's go where you want to go. And then I know that next time when something is like a 7 or 8 to me, he's gonna meet me where I am.
Yeah. So often we walk around having conversations and then we just go, wait, this is like a 4 for me. What's this for you?
Yeah.
We just spout numbers at each other and we make a lot of our decisions based on not actually having to talk out things anymore.
Yeah.
If we're like, what do you want for dinner? And I'm like, It's a 0 for me about like what we eat. It just matters that we have all the stuff and I don't want to make the decision. And you're like, great, we're having this, and we don't have to have a back and forth about it. And then there's other times where I'm like, what do you want to do today for what's your plan today? And you'll be like, well, it's an 8 that I spend the morning until this time doing this, and then I have 0. I'm like a 1. If you need me to come up with some things, I could.
Mm-hmm. So it's super useful because it often shows us that one of us really doesn't care, or that something matters a lot more to one of us. It's also sometimes useful because we'll be having an intense conversation and we'll be like, okay, wait, how much does this matter to you? And if we're both like, this is like an 8 for me, that gives us a different kind of useful information. It means, 1, tread carefully, right? It means, oh, this is like we're in some deeply intense territory. It also means that we probably need to bring in some kind of help. So for us, usually that means setting up a session with our therapist. Sometimes it might just mean stepping away from the issue.
And putting a pin in something.
Yeah, and waiting until we can like be really calm. It also helps us to know like, oh, this really matters to both of us. Okay, let's talk about why it matters, because that often can kind of shift things and we can find a way through.
Yeah, and usually the why it matters is the thing that we actually both have the same why and we want the same outcome, but we would just have drastically different ways of getting to that outcome. And when we can talk about it from that perspective of the why and like, oh crap, things usually don't matter at 8s, 9s, and 10s. And so if they do, it's like attached to something primal, and it usually lets us get to know each other better too.
Yeah.
So that is our number system.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's easier to actually try it out and see what happens than to listen to us talk about it. So we're going to keep this super short. Try it with your spouse. Ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does this matter to you? Because for me, it's fill in the blank. And report back. We predict that it will shift your relationships in the best possible way. Yeah. Let us know.
So get rid of all the crappy fights and only fight about the good stuff.